You close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? FBI, open up!
I know a lot of people are concerned about me, and at the end of the day, I want you guys to all know that I'm fine.
Hey guys, just updating you on the vlog. I'm out here on I've been on a hike.
It has been roughly 3 months since the original CallMeCarson situation, and I've been thinking a lot recently about that situation, okay? Now, I think that there's a lot of things that I wish I had touched on when this situation had originally been going down that I hadn't really been able to clearly, I guess, mention. And with a couple of new things going down on the internet, I kinda just want to revisit the original CallMeCarson situation and maybe provide some nuance. So for the original CallMeCarson situation, I am not going to explain it. If you know what happened, then you should have no problem following along here, but if for some reason you do not know what I'm talking about, you gotta fill yourself in at this point, bro. You definitely have some homework to catch up on if you don't really know what happened at this point. So after that situation had initially gone down, and every YouTuber who was friends with CallMeCarson had said their piece about the situation, I didn't really think much else was gonna come of this. I thought perhaps CallMeCarson would have made a response video or something, but instead of anything like that, instead of actually giving himself a platform to defend himself or kind of justify some of his actions, he just went ghost mode. He ghosted Twitter, he ghosted YouTube, he ghosted even Instagram. I mean, he just went AFK. And the more and more I think about it, right, the more and more upset I am with that response. I don't think it's fair for everyone to just assume that he made the right decision by essentially quitting YouTube. And the reason that I'm saying this now is because now that all the dust has settled and this situation is give or take a thing of the past, I think it's kind of wild to me, right? That, you know, what's happened with James Charles recently is something that can be amended and something that can be apologized for, but everything that happened with CallMeCarson is just something that he can get completely canceled for. It is a crazy double standard. It is a crazy dangerous double standard to set that James Charles can get away with everything that he's done, but CallMeCarson has no room to defend himself and is 100% in the wrong without even having the ability to drop a response. Now, for those of you who are confused, James Charles did almost the exact same thing as CallMeCarson, except over Snapchat with some boys. James Charles released an update/apology video last night where he pretty much just explains the entire situation, what he did, and why he is sorry. And although I 100% support creators having a platform to defend themselves and explain some of their actions in situations like this, it's obviously the most important part that the creators actually acknowledge what they did is wrong and outright say sorry for this and, you know, acknowledge it and agree to never do something like that again. And sometimes it's hit or miss as to whether or not you'll get forgiveness. For example, Minilad, he had done something similar, but with girls that were younger than both the CallMeCarson girls and the James Charles boys. And his failure to properly apologize, I also believe, led to his detriment, but, you know. With all of that being said, James Charles, who had objectively done something more incriminating than CallMeCarson, is receiving so much support right now, okay? His audience is backing him up like a champ. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that James Charles was lying or that he was acting in his apology or whatever, or, you know, his apology was disingenuous, but all I'm gonna say is that if you for some reason think that James Charles is 100% in the clear and that for some reason CallMeCarson should be deplatformed, let me tell you one thing, you are insane. You have set one of the craziest and most ridiculous double standards for YouTubers. I think it's really funny though, because I did mention a while ago in a video where I just kind of updated the status quo of the CallMeCarson situation on how he kind of vanished. I mentioned in that video how his lack of a response is actually hurting himself. I 100% think that if he had responded within the first week of this stuff going down, that he could have easily saved his career. And now, according to PewDiePie, he has just quit YouTube.
I don't know how you tell the internet. Some people just don't stay friends forever. What happened? What happened? It's the same with Markiplier. It's like, yeah, we're just not as close as we used to be. It's kind of awkward when everyone online is just going like, you need to go away. Bro, the last guy I collaborated with literally quit his YouTube career. I'm not collaborating with anyone, ever. Okay, I'm collaborating with Felix Schellberg, because he seems real.
When I had originally spoken about these accusations as they had originally dropped on Drama Alert, I tried to stay as neutral as possible, rightfully so, because we didn't have enough information to make any judgment calls at the time. But I did say one thing in that video that I believe was true at the time, but now I don't really know if it's all that true, right? I said that overall, I think these accusations and this situation would be a minor hiccup in CallMeCarson's career, and that, you know, if he was to apologize, I think that a lot of people would side with him. And I seriously do think that if he had taken the time to just address the situation and apologize for his behavior, because let's be honest, right? What did he do? He was a 19-year-old talking dirty to a 17-year-old, okay? I don't really know if that was career-ending stuff. Now, it seemed to me, as shady as that whole thing was, that could have just been written off as some awkward kid with a little bit of success finally getting into the game with some girls, you know? It's just so hard for me to think about that as grooming, because it's like, bro, a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old, that could easily just be a high school relationship, bro. They could have gone to the same school and stuff, but I think that it was just because it was over Discord, and CallMeCarson is now super duper famous, that people just wanted to assume that he was like, you know, an abuser and a groomer and stuff. Now, going back to James Charles, right? What I just explained with CallMeCarson simply being an awkward kid or whatever, that's kind of what James Charles mentioned in his apology, right? He was like, well, you know, I was just desperate for some validation and a connection, and I apologize for what I did. And he's getting so much support from his fans right now. I swear to you, if James Charles can do it, I think that CallMeCarson probably would have been able to do it as well. I don't know, man. It seems really weird. You know, obviously, in general, all three of these situations, Minilad, James Charles, and CallMeCarson, could have been avoided if all three of them had made better judgment calls. Now, before you go into my comments and act like I am defending CallMeCarson's actions 100%, that is just false. I 100% believe that he should have apologized and 100% had to address these claims and this situation in general. But him getting canceled to the point of dropping below 3 million subscribers and completely quitting YouTube is something that I just personally don't agree with. I don't think it's fair. I think that second chances are a thing, and especially in this situation where, you know, although he did make a mistake, it wasn't in my opinion, a career-ending mistake, because if James Charles can save his career, then CallMeCarson can too. But yeah, that's just some of my thoughts. I've been kind of thinking about this recently, but if you guys have enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're at all new to the channel. Comment down Rice Krispies if you've made it to the end of this video, and I will try to heart your comment. Subscribe if you're new. Special thanks to my channel members for your continued support. It really helps me out to make the content that I want to make. Follow me over my social medias and join the Discord server. Links all in the description below. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.